In FMCG, where we talk about foods, beverages, personal and home care products, and tobacco, this sector varies from automotive aftermarket in two different ways. On the one hand is the length of use of the product. And the second one is the level of involvement and knowledge of the product. I will explain. For automotive aftermarket, in the length of usage, you can buy, for instance, a part of the vehicle that would last you a year. For instance, if you changed the battery of your car or you changed the brake pad, you are somewhere between. So for the brake pad, depending on how much traffic you have on the road, then maybe you have your brake pads lasting you from 6 months to 1 year to more, depending. And for the battery, from 1 year to 2 years if you're changing the wiper blades. And there are some sensors that you change in your vehicle and you will probably never change it again. So it could last for several years. So the length of usage is much longer in the automotive aftermarket. And therefore the consumer does not have to change the product regularly. In FMCG, this is different. A bottle of beer, for instance, can be consumed in 20 minutes or less. And so the period in which the people use the product is much shorter, from minutes to just weeks or at best months, depending on the product. And how this affects you in the sector is that for FMCG, the consumer has the opportunity to change your product either on a daily basis. They can switch from you if they don't like you very quickly. And in, for instance, automotive, it is not easy to change very regularly. In level of knowledge and involvement, the consumer knows not so much about the details of what is in the vehicle most times. So there are a number of the parts that they don't care about, and the person who knows these details is the service technician. In FMCG, they know just about everything, and they are really involved in the usage and in the purchase of this product. And so these two differences actually make working in automotive aftermarket a little different from FMCG. So in FMCG, you have to make sure that the end consumer understands and they like every bit of what you have provided. And you are trying to convince them when you make your communication. You are targeting the end consumers. In automotive aftermarket, you are targeting more of the service technicians because they are the influencers. They are the ones who are mostly making the decision of which one is the best product for the end consumer. The similarity is that in both cases, you are targeting the end consumer. You are targeting the end consumer in FMCG with the products which they would use directly themselves. You are targeting the end consumer in automotive aftermarket because they are the mobility user. Even though they don't get involved, but what they want is that their experience in the use of the vehicle is great. So they don't want their car stopping and stopping and stopping every time. And you want to enhance their experience by giving them the right products. In consumer durables, which is now the white goods that we talk about, the products last much longer, and the level of interaction from the consumer is quite high. So this is now more of a combination of the both. So your refrigerator you can live in your house up to, for instance, 8-10 years, but you use it every day and you know what you want out of it. So all these parallels influence how you create the product, how you communicate, and the channels through which you distribute the product to the end consumer.